Dillian Whyte knocks Lucas Browne out cold with a single left hook in the sixth round to retain his WBC silver heavyweight title and his #1 ranking with the World Boxing Council. It was a very good performance by Dillian Whyte. He didn't put a foot wrong in the fight. His jab was very good. He looked very sharp. He was countering very well. Nice body punches, good combination punching ability. Everything came together for Dillian Whyte in this fight. He didn't look sloppy like he has done in some of his recent fights. His punches were sharp. They were accurate. And yeah, it just all came together. His balance was there. The head movement was there. So Whyte looked excellent. He looked better than he's looked in any other fight in his career. And he punished Lucas Browne pretty much from the opening bell. He was doing the old postman's knock, the double jab in Browne's face, and he had Browne cut from the first round. And yeah, he just bashed Browne up every round, broke him down, and eventually opened up in the sixth round with a combination. Most of the shots were blocked, but it culminated at a left hook, which was not blocked. And it spun Browne around and he landed on his face. And generally when fighters go down on their face, they don't get back up. And Lucas Browne went down hard, out cold. And I hope he's okay because he left the ring on a stretcher. They're obviously going to check him out at hospital to make sure he's okay. And I certainly hope Lucas Browne's going to be all right. Having said all that, I was really disappointed by the condition that Lucas Browne was in. Not only his condition, but he didn't look motivated in there. The way he walked to the ring, his body language, the look on his face, he just looked flat, borderline disinterested. Credit to Dillian Whyte for taking care of business, but let's not mistake this version of Browne for the one who fought Chigaev. Now, I'm not saying the version who fought Chigaev would have beaten Dillian Whyte. I don't think he would have done. I've always said and I've always believed that Dillian Whyte is a better fighter than Lucas Browne. And, you know, I never hesitated in picking Dillian Whyte to win all the way through in the lead up to this. But if Browne had been in the kind of shape he was in against Chigaev, if he come with more motivation, he would have made it more competitive. He would have made it more of a spectacle. Because it turned out that all he made it was a one-sided fight, and he made himself a human pinata in there. He was just getting slapped around like Tina Turner for the entertainment of the crowd. And the crowd got their money's worth in the end. They saw a lot of knockouts, a lot of spectacular knockouts on this card. They had Frank Buglioni getting slapped around in the first round by Callum Johnson. And the headline fight really stole the show because it was a headline highlight reel KO by Dillian Whyte. So props to Dillian Whyte. Great performance. It finally all came together for him. But Lucas Browne gave it to him on a silver platter. I mean, Lucas Browne really needs to shake his head because at 38 years old, if he would have given it a better go, even if he lost against Whyte, if he would have come in shape and given it a better go, he could have got more paydays off the back of this. But getting spectacularly knocked out like that and beaten up every single round and just used like a human punch bag, his stock is not exactly going to rise. It's going to drop significantly following a defeat like that. So yeah, disappointed in Browne, but you got to take your hat off to Dillian Whyte because he boxed very, very well, very sharp. And it shows that if you stand in front of Dillian Whyte, no head movement or anything like that, he can open up on you and do you some serious damage. Now, I did, prior to the fight, have some reservations about Browne's punch resistance. He was able to absorb Dillian Whyte's shots through the first 5.5 rounds, but as he got tired, it wasn't just a case of his punch resistance was getting worn down and he was getting fatigued. It was also a case of as he got tired, he was even more stationary, and therefore Whyte was able to come forward and get more power in the punches. And as he found his range and was getting more power in the shots, it was only a matter of time before he cleaned Lucas Browne out. And you felt it coming. You know, when it got to about the fourth or fifth, you felt like Dillian Whyte can knock this guy out because you could sense the energy draining from him. You could sense that Dillian Whyte was getting more power in his shots. He was stepping into the punches more because in the first couple rounds, he was being careful about not getting caught from Lucas Browne. And he wanted to, maybe test Browne's power out a little bit and see what he had. But once he saw Browne was weakening, he really started loading up and stepping in with the shots. There was even one point where he missed with a very wild left hook, Dillian Whyte. And that was testament to the fact that he was loading up more as the fight went on because he was putting more power in the shots. And eventually, that same left hook, which he missed spectacularly at one moment, he managed to land it flush on Browne's chin and down he went. So, yeah, great performance by Dillian Whyte. He was hype in the post-fight interview. And I can understand why, because it's been a long road for Dillian Whyte. He hasn't had anything handed to him on a silver platter. So a lot of the frustration of all the trials and tribulations he's been through over the years came out in that post-fight interview. He was hype. He called out Deontay Wilder. I think he apparently said something to David Haye. He leaned over the ropes. This was before the post-fight interview. He leaned over the ropes and he was saying something to David Haye. So he was hype after the fight. He was gassed. Gas Mark 12. But he has a right to be because it was a great KO. And I definitely feel happy for the guy. As far as Lucas Browne goes, dear, oh dear, oh dear. The age, which I thought might be a factor, as well as, the punch resistance not being that great. I'm not saying he's got a glass chin or anything, Lucas Browne, but the fact that he was dropped by Chigaev and the fact that he was dropped by a couple of other guys earlier on in his career, journeyman, didn't bode well. And, I picked Dillian Whyte to win on points. I thought maybe he could get a late stoppage. I also mentioned the fact that Lucas Browne cuts easy, because this is something Dillian Whyte had been saying. Dillian Whyte had been saying that Lucas Browne gets cut all the time, so he might be able to cut Lucas Browne up, and he did that too. So, yeah, Browne was plodding. He was slow. He was just looking for a big right hand. He had no defense at all. And Dillian Whyte just tattooed his face and then gave him a two-piece at the end with no biscuit. So, yeah, great performance by Whyte. Let me know what you guys felt about it. Where does Dillian Whyte go from here? Will he get the shot at Deontay Wilder? If he don't, what other options are there for Dillian Whyte? A rematch with AJ? There's talk about maybe an eliminator between him and Dominic Breazeale. And the winner gets Wilder. The winner becomes mandatory for Wilder. I'd like to see Dillian Whyte against Dominic Breazeale. I think that's another very fun, good fight. And it might be a similar fight to the Browne fight, but you know for a fact that Dominic Breazeale is going to try a lot more than Browne. I mean, not like Browne didn't try, but he wasn't really in shape to try that hard, Dominic Breazeale never looks in great shape, but he's much younger than Lucas Browne, and he's going to bring it more than Browne is. I think he's tougher than Browne too. I think he's got a better chin than Browne, and he's bigger, taller, so he'll probably get outboxed by Dillian Whyte. Let's not get it twisted. Whyte is a lot quicker than Dominic Breazeale, but I just don't see Whyte cleaning Breazeale out the way he cleaned Browne out that early anyway. I think it will be a much longer fight, a much tougher fight, and more entertaining and more competitive. So that's a fight I'd definitely like to see. There's the potential of Dillian Whyte versus Jarrell Miller. If Joshua don't fight him, that's assuming Joshua gets past Joseph Parker, because that's not a foregone conclusion. So yeah, let me know where you think Dillian Whyte's going to go from here. Who would you like to see him fight next? How do you think he would do against Deontay Wilder in that performance? I know Whyte looked very, very good, very accurate, but he was fighting somebody who is a sitting duck. All right. It's much easier to be accurate when you're fighting somebody as slow and ponderous as Lucas Browne. When you're fighting somebody like a Deontay Wilder who's light on his feet, who moves around, it's very, very difficult to be accurate. You're going to miss a lot more shots. I'm not saying Dillian Whyte has no chance against Deontay Wilder, but I definitely would be picking Deontay Wilder in the fight. I think Dillian, yes, has better skills than Deontay Wilder. He does. But so many fighters have got better skills than Deontay Wilder. Ortiz had better skills than Deontay Wilder, but he still didn't win. Wilder, I remember seeing an interview with Anthony Yard, and Anthony Yard said that Wilder brings the roads into the ring. And he really does. Wilder fights like somebody on a World Star Hip Hop clip. You know World Star Hip Hop where they have them ghetto fights? That's how Wilder fights. Like he's on World Star Hip Hop fighting in the street. He brings the roads into the ring. He brings that raw, aggressive energy into the ring. He's athletic, he's fast, and yeah, he looks unorthodox and ungainly, but he's a tremendous puncher. And I would be picking him over Dillian Whyte. Again, I wouldn't dismiss Dillian Whyte's chances completely, and I hope Dillian Whyte gets the shot at Wilder because he deserves a shot at this point. And I mean, he deserves a shot more than Ortiz did. You know, Dillian Whyte is working his way up to the #1 position. He deserves a shot more than Ortiz did. So I hope he gets the shot. I hope he gets a nice big payday. And if he wins, amazing for Dillian Whyte, because he can then have the WBC title and unify with Anthony Joshua. That's the dream. That's what they're pushing for. So, you know, good luck to him. But for Lucas Browne, it's the scrap heap. Surely. I can't see where the guy goes from here. It must be the scrap heap. Let me know how you feel in the comments. And yeah, where do both fighters go from here? How did you feel about both guys' performances? You know, let me know. All right, I'm out.